Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to Witchy Wednesday. I hope everybody's had a good day today. See who else here. Winston's mom, how are you? How are you doing? I'm ready to get my Witchy Wednesday on. Well, we've got a pretty cool Witchy Wednesday, at least I think so, because we're continuing our work with shadow work and we're going through the tarot. It's been very interesting for me to do my own kind of shadow work as I'm doing this. I am putting together these journal prompts and all this kind of stuff and kind of working along with it. Now, I've had a really busy last 3 days. Not only has my shop kind of sold out of a lot of things and I need to put stuff in there, but I've had some things on campus. And if you've been watching me, you know I'm a teacher. So there's some things I had to do on campus today, and man, I'm tired. I'm super busy, but I still managed to get the worksheet out. So the worksheet is out. If you go to my link tree, you will be able to, and my link tree is in the description. If you go to my link tree, you'll be able to click on the worksheet for today. It says, as far as the link goes, it says Shadow Work Through the Tarot. And you will be prompted over to a Google folder where you'll see both the one that we used last week and today's. All right. Hey, Cindy, what's up? How are you? How are you? It has been such a busy week and such a busy last couple of days that I didn't print out my own worksheet for today. So, but you see me doing this, I'm looking over at mine, okay? But they're both up there, the one from last week and the one for this week. How are we going to do this today? Well, we're going to do very similar to what we did last week. Is we're going to go through the questions. We're going to talk about how does the High Priestess, or kind of resemble us, right? But before we do that, before we get into our shadow work, I'm going to do like we always do. We're going to check where the moon is and what does it mean for us, right? Well, first off, this Saturday is a full moon. Now, depending on which culture that you're from, you might have a different name for the moon this Saturday. I know that in the South, typically it's called the buck moon, and that's an indigenous naming of it. I have heard of, and I've got right in front of me, I've heard of the holly moon, and the holly moon is you are going to be what you're going to be regardless. That things are always going to be happening to you, but you get to decide how you're going to see it. Just like the holly on the trees will last through winter, so will you. So I thought that was kind of cool for this week's full moon. But when I was checking the planner, I saw that tonight we go void of course. Now, normally when we go void of course, the moon is between planets. I tell you guys, don't do any spell work. Just kind of relax and everything. And it's normally from like 10 o'clock at night until 6 in the morning, right? Well, this one is moving very fast. It's all of 10 minutes. The moon is already back in its planet. So moon went void, of course, but it is fine. We are planning, though, right now for that full moon. What to do with this full moon's water. Now, I was trying to think about this because I always want it to reflect what I'm doing right now. Anytime I collect moon water, I have a purpose to it for the most part. I already know the intention for that water. So I was thinking about this one. This moon in particularly is also going into Aquarius. And as we know, Aquarians are weird. I'm an Aquarian. And we just don't care that we're weird. We revel in the fact that we are weird, right? And the fact that this full moon is in Aquarius, this is a perfect time for you to relish in those quirky things that you do. This is the time to be at your weirdest. All right. So this full moon gives you permission to let your freak flag fly. Okay. Be weird. Be weird. All right. Be yourself. Now, all that being said, let's talk about what we are here for tonight, the shadow work. And that kind of be yourself is leading into the High Priestess. Hey, Zarabeth, what's up? Aquarius are weird. Yes, Aquarians are weird. My moon is in Aquarius. That says stuff, right? Tonight we are going to talk about the tarot and the shadow work as far as High Priestess goes. Now, the High Priestess, when we look at her in the tarot form, she is this all-knowing, all-being power. All right. She knows what was, what is, and what will be. She knows who she is, who she was, and who she will be. All right. That goes into what we're going to talk about with shadow work. All right. So I'm going to give you guys just a minute. If you want to go ahead and go to my link tree, pull up the worksheet so that way you can follow along with us. And again, my link tree is inside the description. You will know it says, I am divine High Priestess. All right. As the High Priestess, you can see all of the possibilities in your life. Now, this is important for you to think about. As if I'm the High Priestess, I can see all the possibilities in my life. I know what I was, what I am, and what I will be. This is what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to that point. And in order to get to that point, we've got to look at what's in the shadows. All right. So if you, and this is a question that, remember, we do easy questions first, and then we get a little bit harder, right? Okay. So if all possibilities were possible, if everything was possible, who are you? If things didn't get in your way, if situations didn't happen, who are you? What kind of person do you see yourself as a perfect being? You as a perfect being, what are you? What do you look like? I had to think about this one for me. What do I look like? I'm compassionate. I am spiritual without being pushy. I am courageous and willing to stand up and confront things. I don't put off stuff. I don't put off stuff. I don't let things overwhelm me. I am in control, and that's what it got down to, is that I am in control of my own emotions, that I do not let others have power over me. That's my perfect self. My perfect self, compassionate without allowing others to have control over me. So then that got me thinking, it's like, okay, you notice that word control comes up a lot. You want to control things. You're always in control. So that sent me down a whole other path for another tarot card entirely. But I listed what was my perfect self, right? What's your perfect self? What do you consider the perfect person that you want to be? Interesting question, especially if we've never been given the opportunity to think about it. And a lot of us grow up with parents telling us what to be, right? You must cut your hair. You must, make straight A's. Now, those aren't necessarily bad things, but because some of us grew up with parents that told us everything to do, we never got to decide for ourselves. So part of our shadow work is deciding, who the hello am I? Right? Who the hello am I? Winston's mom, I am in control of my own emotions. I think they're Winston Ferret I am. Thinking and feeling are never not complicated. For me, feeling and thinking should be two different things, two separate things. And that's where we get into the problem with my shadows, is that I try to compartmentalize certain emotions. Don't know why I do it. And that's why I do shadow work. It's like I do things and I don't know why I do them. There's things that I think that I don't like. And so in order to fix it, I've got to go and find out where it came from, right? So, second question. Why is the above possibility not a reality? What you just described about yourself, why is it not real? Why is it not the person that's in front of you? Why is it just a possibility? Well, for me, I'm weird, y'all. I've been weird all my life. And being weird and being different made me a little bit ostracized. You know, people don't like what's different. So, got bullied. I got bullied for something dumb. I had seizures, y'all. I had epilepsy. And I got bullied for epilepsy. You know, so those things right there, right? And then, of course, the whole emotional side of it, there's a lot of trauma that's happened, you know, when I was younger with crying, being afraid of things. When I was younger, and still am, I was terrified of lightning. Terrified. Living in Florida, that's a bad thing, by the way, because it's always lightning, right? I was terrified. And I started to cry during a lightning storm. I was with my father at the time. And he, you know, I understand now that maybe he saw things differently and his parenting skills, you know, he was young. So maybe he didn't know what to do with a crying child, how to help that crying child. For him, he thought he was probably doing the best thing because he thought me facing it would be best. And that didn't happen. He locked me in my room, put up the windows, and made me stand by a window. I'm shaking and crying the whole time. Get yelled at for that. So having emotions was something I wasn't supposed to have. So the possibility of me being compassionate and having control of my feelings, that's something that's got to be healed and put back together because of one moment. What's your moment? What is it that prevents you from being that possible self of yours? You know? Oh, you grew up in Florida as well. You lived in Sarasota as a child? Oh, that's not too far from here. It's probably, no, I say it's about 2 hours from here. But if you grew up in Sarasota, then you know Yoders, don't you? Winston's mom, you know Yoders. Yoders. Love me some Yoders. Love me some Yoders. Cindy, these are ugly questions. Yeah, these are ugly questions. And that's kind of the thing with shadow work, is that people don't do it because it's not pretty. It gets to be painful. It gets to, like, these were easy questions. These were easy questions. The ones that are coming, those are some ugly ones. And there are questions that we have to be very ugly with ourselves about. There are things that we allow happening to us that we could change, but we don't. Why don't we change? What is it that is impossible of that change, right? There are things that, like bad habits that we don't like. Why can't we get rid of them? Is it because that's how you always have been? You know? So these questions are going to get ugly with things. It's not, when you get done with shadow work, then you're no longer afraid of the shadows. That's the way I think about it. What's his mob? You do know Yoders, yes. I love the Amish. I do, and their produce stand, man. Holy crap, Batman. I could go into Yoder's and I can eat until I need a wheelbarrow to get out and then go into their produce market. I'm like, I'm going to buy all my groceries here. It's incredible. Cindy says, I wish it was me, like the reason I cannot realize that possibility. It's, these are things that, as far as trying to think about the possibilities of you, there are so many deviations to the plan that we had in life, right? And it's kind of hard to go, when did I first step off that path? When did I first allow that to happen, right? It's crazy. This stuff is crazy, right? Since mom, Anna Freud's defense mechanism. I'll have to look that up. I don't know that one, Winston's mom. I don't know that one. All right. Next question. Like I said, they're going to get ugly. Who or what has stopped you from living your authentic life? Who or what has stopped you from living that life? That's, there's this, why do you think the above isn't possible? And then you've got to figure it out like even further. We get a generalized idea of why it's not possible, and then we got to go, this happened because of a situation, like this singularity happened, right? So it's kind of like, where do I go? I hear my little cauldron burning away, and it makes me scared that it's gonna. So it's who or what stopped you from living your authentic life? Well, doing this long enough, it was me. It was me. Now, situations happened that created a pattern of thinking, that created a way of reacting to situations. But ultimately, as I get older, that's me. I react to situations because I am choosing that behavior. Pure and simple. I choose the behavior that leads to the situation I'm in. So then I question, why do I choose that behavior? What happened? What made me think this way? And then I think about all the situations in which the same type of decision has been made over and over and over again. The same decision, thinking I was going to get a different outcome, right? Over and over and over again. Like I said, I didn't have a great relationship with my father. So when I first started looking for love, I was looking for a replacement, right? If the little girl doesn't have love from her dad, it very, very often, we're still looking for that love. And that's what I did. I was looking for an approval. I was looking for, be proud of me, be proud that I'm standing next to you, right? Be proud that I'm yours. That's what I was looking for. And that thought led to a lot of bad decisions. A lot of bad decisions. So what is it in your life that started this inability to live authentically you? Winston's mom's back with the ghoul. Okay, you got the ghoul, right? All right. A sense of obligation, doing what's right for everyone else. Yes. Mrs. M, you appear to be pretty darn authentic. Your hair is green and curly, and you are teaching, and you are a messenger with the soul of a maverick. But you are paying it forward, and I know you are loved. Thank you. I am proud of you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I do this work, and I think anybody that works in entertainment, I will say this, anybody that works in entertainment, a lot of us do it. A lot of us work in service of others because we are wanting people not to feel the way we do. Like, comedians are often the most depressed because they don't want people to feel as sad as they do inside, right? I am a teacher who absolutely loves all my students, right? And I try to pour my heart into people. Why? Because I didn't get that. So often people who are in service of others, it's because of this. It's because we don't want people to feel like we do. You know, I definitely don't want my students and my lovelies to feel the things that I have felt, right? And it's taken me a very long time to go, you know what? I am good just the way I am. I am authentically me. I am going to live that truth. And if people don't want me, that's their choice. And I'm not allowed to make the choices for them. And I've had to get there. I've had to get to this point, right? And I still make choices that reflect the trauma. I still make choices that I look back and go, would you stand up for yourself for once? Right? So I do this because I don't want you guys to be this late in life before you decide to be your authentic self. I want you to figure this out earlier on. Have more joyful moments, right? Don't be in your 40s and figure it out. Told you these questions are going to get a little harder. It's not fun. This is not fun at all. I know. Has your need for approval prevented you preventing Has your need for approval prevented you from listening to your own inner voice? Yes or no? It's just a yes or no question. Have I needed approval so much that I didn't listen to my gut? Yes. Yes, I have. I have. Absolutely. You know? Have you? Have you wanted approval so much from others that you've not listened to your inner voice? Easy question. Not one you want to admit to, right? Mrs. M, do you know about Rahu and Ketu in astrology? We've already discussed, Mrs. Mom, that I am horrible with astrology. This is why you have to be here, okay? Our north and south nodes, our past lives are in Ketu, where we came from, and our north node is Rahu, where we are supposed to be heading. Has your need for approval kept you from listening to your gut instincts, your intuition, or your inner voice? Yeah. Has your gut. Have you ever listened to your gut? Or did you ignore it because you wanted to be a part of what was going on? And I said, yeah, I have. I've ignored my gut. Time and time again, I ignored my gut. I could tell you this, every time I did, it didn't end up good. You know? So if you've ignored it, who or what made you believe that your ideas and the way you see yourself were not acceptable? Because if we're not listening to ourselves, that means that something or someone told us not to trust ourselves. Who was that? What was that? What happened? Right? If you're constantly being told as a child, that everything you do is wrong, you are not going to trust yourself. You are not going to believe in yourself. You're not going to listen to that gut because every time I do something, it's wrong. So shut up, inner voice, right? So what situation made you start ignoring your inner self? What happened? How old were you? What was the situation that happened? You know, why was it so impactful? Was it the person that said it? Was it the timing? Was it just your age? What happened that made you think that you couldn't trust yourself? Right? Winston's mom, I have never ignored my own instincts or knowing where something would take us, but I have trusted that someone else was on a path and I trusted them and followed them because that's what females do. Yes, females do that. Are supposed to do. Going full circle back to first question, I got married 22 to answer the question. You know, in shadow work, you notice it will come back. It'll loop back. And when you get to a certain question, then you'll go back to that first question. You're like, aha, I got it now. And you will start. And it's okay to go back to the first question and add things. You know, if you're going through this and you get to the last question, you're like, man, this makes sense for this. Add it. Add it to there. Okay. How did you change yourself? If you learned that you couldn't trust yourself and you needed to be with others, right? How did you change yourself for togetherness? And Winston's mom, this goes to being female as well. Females do this. Like you said, you might trust who you are, but we will modify ourselves to be able to exist in a certain role. Me being a mom of five, there were times I had to bite my tongue because I needed the job, right? I couldn't be full on weird at work. Why? I needed the work. I had 5 mouths to feed, right? There were times where I would think a joke was funny, but I couldn't laugh because I didn't want the kids to think that that kind of humor was something that they could do, right? So as a mom, I was constantly modifying who I was. In my first marriage, I modified everything about me because everything about me was wrong. So I modified everything. I looked, like I could walk off a magazine cover because I had makeup on and had my hair and nails done. That didn't make me happy because that's not who I was, right? But being female, I modified who I was to fit a particular role. And then that also comes back to, though, that we modify who we are because we don't trust that who we are is good enough. So what did you change for the sake of togetherness, of being together with people? What aspect of you had to be modified? And why? Why did it have to be modified? Harry Chapman. I'm gonna butcher the name because my brain's like, that's not how you say it. The singer, storyteller, songwriter. All my life's a circle, sunrise and sundown. Yes, I'm a female, but I lived in a male world in the military. I am a thinker, not a feeler, and women are usually more ethos than logos. Yeah. Can't be too weird in the military. You're right. So what did you change to be in the military? You tried to fill the shoes of the perfect woman, Plato's perfect form of the archetype. Yeah. The wife, the mother. So we all change ourselves in some form for the sake of togetherness. I didn't have green hair, right? I didn't have my piercings. I didn't have my tattoos. I'm not a huge makeup fan, if you can't tell by the inexperienced look. Most of the time. It's like, oh, look, that's a pretty color. Let's put that on. So I changed the nature of myself because who I had been told I was not good enough. What made me revert? I was tired of not being good enough. I was tired of, even after all the makeup, after all the false things that I would put on myself, all the superficial things to make myself look better, I was never better. I was never enough. My mind was not what was being honored, and I didn't want that anymore. So I decided I was going to be weird. And if you didn't like me weird, you just didn't need me. You didn't need to be around me. I lost a lot of people. Some of them for the better. Some of them not. Right? I Grok is a reference to Heinlein's sci-fi novel, Strangers in a Strange Land. You know what, Winston's mom? That's one of the books that, for whatever reason, every time I try to read it, like, there's something in my gut that says, not yet. Not yet. You're not going to be able to do this yet. I don't know what it is, but it is a book that we're supposed to be reading in high school. Zarabeth, I am also tired of not feeling good enough. It's... Sorry, I was multitasking while listening. Look, it's good. It's good. Multitasking, I don't care. You do you. Don't feel like you got to apologize to me at all. You don't, all right? But, Winston's mom brings up a subject that I do feel, and I feel because I have experience in this. It's that whole females do often have to change or manipulate who they are simply because we exist in a male world. I remember being in my 20s and I couldn't wait until I was 30. Why? 2 reasons. I figured when I was 30, I'd have my crap together, and I, for the most part, did. But I also knew that in my 30s, then I wouldn't be looked at as a dumb kid anymore. At 21, I was divorced with 2 children. I wasn't a kid. I hadn't been a kid for a long time. And calling anybody in Gen X a kid is kind of funny. All right. We weren't kids for a very long time. So, being somewhat young and being female, there was a lot of things that you had to do different. We will talk differently when we're amongst a group of women than we do in a mixed company. And I'm sure men do that as well, right? Why can't we all just talk? Why? Because we won't understand each other? Why don't we understand each other? Because we don't talk? Whoa. Right? At Zarabeth, everyone needs affirmation and validation. And if your friends and family around you don't do this, you need better people. Yes. And I know how hard that is. Yeah. And it's so hard when you tell somebody you need better people. I had so many people telling me you need better people. And I was just like, but I don't have people. I don't have people. And I kept thinking I need people. I need people because I wanted validation. I wanted that affirmation and validation. So I kept wanting people. And when I stopped needing all of the affirmation, I'm not going to say that I don't need it anymore because Lord knows I do. But when I stopped thriving off of that, that's when I didn't care if I lost people. But it's still a care I'll lose people. That's still a thing. We want people, as much as some of us are, loners. I will say all the time, I don't like people. I don't like a lot of people, but I like some people, and I want some people around me. I want to talk to some people. I just don't want all the people. So we still want people, and it's a very hard thought of go make new friends. That's so hard. That's so hard. It's a scary thought too, right? I have good people around you. Good. Good. You are your worst enemy. Why? Why are you doing that to yourself? What started that habit? Because society has bred us to conduct ourselves differently between the sexes. Absolutely. We need to be able to validate ourselves. You said everything just then, Zarabeth. You said everything, right? People drive me nuts, but I love human interaction. The whole human experience is scary and exhilarating. It is a roller coaster. Absolute roller coaster. All right. Here's another question. We've got two more questions. All right. What is the worst thing that could happen if you chose to trust yourself? If you chose to trust everything that you think, what's the worst thing that could happen? I could lose everyone. Everyone would go away. Okay. Is that all the people in the world? No. But I like those people. Why? Because they're nice? Well, if they're nice, then they won't leave. But they should like me. They don't like you. They don't know you. You haven't showed them you. Got it. Right? So what's the worst thing? Start reasoning with yourself. When you go through these exercises, reason with yourself. Be the other side. Try to question everything you think. Why do I think that? Okay, so why do you think that? Okay, is that valid? Did that come from a real place? Is that person worth taking their opinion? The person's a piece of crap while you're taking their opinion, right? I get told that all the time. All the time. Because when I would, at my highest, needing to be validated, people would say things to me, and my husband and my mom both would be like, who are they? They're no one. They're just mean. So why are you listening to them? Right? Mrs. Mom, I am very much an introvert. I'm reclusive and don't socialize despite all of the Gemini Sun energy. However, online, I can people easier. And some people are like that. And that's why I'm so thankful that we have the internet. So that way people like you can have human interaction in the way that you want to have human interaction. And there is nothing wrong with that. Nothing. It's the way you want to interact with people. Cool. You're still getting human interaction, right? I don't want to be like face to face with a lot of people. All right. If you told me I had to do this and I had to go to like auditoriums to do this, I'd probably cry. I'm not playing. I'd probably cry because I would not be able to handle that many people. But on here, I can. And here, it's fine. Right? Humans, people tend to place more value on what they have than what they might gain. Yes. The Billy Goat's gruff. Yes. I think that's why I didn't trust people. Because what I learned as a child was that if I had nothing to offer, no one would do things for me. Because people would do things for me and then expect me to do something in return. I had to be respectful. I had to smile. I had to show up at a place. I had to eat everything that was on my plate. There were things that were expected of me because someone did something for me. So now as an adult, I don't ask for anything. And that doesn't help me live my authentic self. When I need help, I need to be able to ask. But I don't, because I feel like I have nothing to offer. And we go back around and around and around. Flatland, a romance of many dimensions. Do you know the sci-fi novel Edwin Abbott? YouTube is like Flatland in some ways. This is a 42 math book. 42. You said 42. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. No, I do not know that novel. I have got in the goal setting to be able to read more sci-fi. Right now, I just got done reading A Murmur of Bees, which was good. It wasn't what I expected. It read like Anna Karenina, but like a Mexican version of Anna Karenina. Because The Murmur of Bees takes place in Mexico during the Spanish flu. So it was a good book, but it was just the pacing and like the storyline kind of felt very, very similar to Anna Karenina. I read Anna Karenina at the beginning of January. Yeah. So I'm fresh off of that. And I think that's why it might have kind of influenced the way I felt about it, Murmur of Bees. I read Between the Worlds and Me, which is great. If you have not read that, that one is beautiful. Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. And I'm reading one of his books now, The Water Dancer. So I don't know. I have like such a weird book taste. Very weird book taste. Like I also read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and anything Neil Gaiman touches. All right. If he wrote something on a napkin, I would probably purchase it and put it in my collection. All right. Because I'm crazy about Neil Gaiman. Yep. Between the World and Me and The Water Dancer, The Murmur of Bees. Yeah. The Murmur of Bees was, like I said, it was a good book, but it was the pacing and narration was very much like Anna Karenina. So if you liked Anna Karenina, then you'd probably like Murmur of Bees. But it was, see, we get off topic. We start talking about books and it's all over, guys. No more Witchy Wednesday. We're on book talk. All right. What's his mom? I blame this one on you. Where we were on shadow work. Okay, last question. And this one's the last hard one, okay? What is your inner truth? What is your inner truth? If the world could see you the way you see yourself, what would that look like? All right. Again, like we've been talking, shadow work comes in full circle. Always, always. We've gone through, we decided this is what the perfect self looks like. This is why I don't look like the perfect self. But now we're at the bottom where I have to say, this is how the world sees me. This is my inner truth, right? Lastly, on that worksheet, you're going to create your own sigil. You're going to create your own sigil. And I believe we did this on one of the earlier Witchy Wednesdays. You can go through the description and read whether or not we did sigil work. This sigil that you're going to create is going to be based off of that statement. Your inner truth. What do you know to be true about yourself? Okay? Out of all the possibilities in this world, who are you at the core? Who are you at the core? And make this a positive who are you at the core. Because we're always looking at our faults, but we're not thankful for our positive notes. If we're not thankful, why would our body say, you're welcome? Here's another. Right? So start being thankful for your inner truth. My inner truth. I am compassionate. I am love. And I have love. That's my inner truth. I am compassion. I am love. And I have love. I would take that statement and create my sigil with that statement. You're going to write your sigil on that worksheet. And then you're going to write that sigil on everything that you want. You want it on a stone? Put it on a stone. You want to take jelly and put it on your bread? Put it on your bread. Then eat it. Eat the sigil. You want to stir it into your coffee? Stir it into your coffee. All right? You want to put that sigil everywhere. Why do sigils work? Because it reminds us of that statement that we've made, that intention we've put out into the world. When I see my sigil, I am reminded I have compassion in my heart. I am love and I am loved. Those are the things I know to be true about myself, right? All the other things are these superficial things. My green hair, my piercings, my tattoos. They're things that I adorn myself with. And I like. I love all this stuff, right? But at the core, it doesn't make me who I am. It's not my inner truth. I'm a girl with green hair. That's not my inner truth. I could dye my hair at any moment. What's my inner truth? My inner truth is I have compassion, I am love, and I have love. Put the sigil on everything. Remind yourself of your inner truth. See how far it gets you. All right. Neil Gaiman, yes, he's I believe is now my mission statement. Books, I gave away my library when I moved to Tennessee, and now am rebuying my favorite books and slowly rebuilding my library. Yes. And I want to tell you how I paid it forward, because you said find someone, observe them, and help them. I did that this week. Yay! For you. Go back to my first reading from you on a Tuesday early in the summer. What do you know to be true about yourself at the core? So, okay, I got to break down everything you just said, Winston. Winston's mom. So, I need to go back to the reading that I did for you. Okay. So, I'll go back to the reading and I'll look at it. All right. And who are you at your core? At my core, I am kind and I am nice. I am kind and I am nice. So you're going to create the sigil with that statement. I am kind and I am nice. Like I said, put it everywhere. When I said stir it into your coffee, I'm not kidding. In my morning coffee, I stir in my sigil. This is my own personal sigil. This is what I believe to be true about myself. And I find it interesting to put it on my food. The reason being is because I want to make sure I'm ingesting my truth. I am making sure that it is inside my body, that I am never letting it out and floating about in the air again, that this is always mine. This is always my inner truth. I am compassionate. I am love. And I have love. Right? So I'm putting that in my coffee. I'm putting it in the mustard in my sandwich. You don't have to go back literally. Oh, okay. I was like, what? I'm so lost. You see, I can get lost easily, all right? But during my first reading, I asked you how to pay it forward, and you said, find someone who needs help. Not a big someone, but a good person. So I did. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you. That makes me happy. Putting ganache on chocolate cake. Oh, Lord. Help me, Zarabeth. I'm ending the video. I'm coming over to Zarabeth's. All right. That's what I'm doing. Zarabeth, you got cake for me? You got enough? Let's go. That's right. Okay, so if you're putting that on a sigil, that's fine. Yes, you could use your ganache and put it in there. And then you don't even, here's the thing. If you're a closeted witch and you don't want people to know that you're putting sigils in, that's fine. Put it first on the cake and then put the rest of the icing over it. Now you're giving everybody your inner truth. You're giving everybody the opportunity to ingest your inner truth and know you. All right? Oh, what is it about Connecticut? Like I have so many friends that live in Connecticut and New Orleans. New Orleans and Connecticut. We're hoping to actually go up to Connecticut during October. Eat my truth. I'm sorry. Oh my God. If you've seen the movie The Help, if you read the book The Help, the pie, that was her inner truth. Oh, I am done. I am done. All right. Yes. Oh, she thought they were poop. That was her inner truth. Those people were poop. The Help, the pie. Oh my, I loved that book. Oh, I tell you what, I've read both. I've read the book and I've watched the movie. The movie, when the little girl starts crying after the woman gets fired. Oh, I was a basket case, like hyperventilating basket case, man. It was horrible. It was horrible. I won't say my exact look. No. Absolutely not. But I am familiar with New London. Okay. I think our friend, okay, so we're going to New Hampshire first. Probably, maybe. I don't know. We've got a trip that we want to take. And the trip is to go see a haunted attraction called Haunted Overload in New Hampshire. But it's so close to our friends in Connecticut that we were like, we'll go see them too. But on this trip, I'm supposed to be able to see Sleepy Hollow, Edgar Allan Poe's house. So like as we go up, I get to, it's like literature and horror. It's my favorite thing, y'all. Oh, did you read Little Women? I did. I did read Little Women. I was probably in 6th grade when I read Little Women. I am such a Joe. Oh, are you a Meg? A Joe? I'm not sure. It's been so long since I've read it. I probably would be a mixture. I think I'm probably a mixture. Then October is the perfect time. I hear that October is just beautiful up there. Absolutely gorgeous. I really want to see the fall leaves. Because where I live, we don't get fall leaves. We don't get fall. We get 2 days of like, oh, look, it's kind of chilly. Oh, no, it's back to spring. Like, that's it. We miss winter entirely. Like, that's it. It's just hot. Always hot and muggy. New Hampshire haunted location. Is this where they filmed John Irving's book, Hotels New Hampshire with Jodie Foster? I don't think so. Fall in New England is gorgeous. We go to the Renaissance Fair. Oh my God, I bet that's beautiful. Renaissance Fair in October. In Carver, Massachusetts, and it's so beautiful. We have a haunted hotel here in Tennessee. I know. And my children's father stayed there. He talked to the little girl ghost and still doesn't believe she was a ghost. The Thomas house. There are quite a few haunts in Tennessee, and I'm not talking about like actual haunted locations, but like haunted attractions that run like haunted houses. There's quite a few in Tennessee. So it's a pretty interesting place. Is there any other questions you guys might have about shadow work tonight before we end our episode? Is there any witchy advice that you need? If you're wanting anything in particular, I had Maria message me earlier, and Maria asked me about a book reference. I don't know if she's working on understanding herbs and stuff, and so she kind of wanted a different book. But I'm going to suggest this book to you. Okay? Incense, Oils, and Brews by Scott Cunningham. I will also suggest to you a book called The Spells Bible, and I'm looking over here to see if I can find it. Reason why I suggest these books. If you go through them and you do exactly like they say, yes. If you know what you're doing, they're going to work. But going through books like this and like the Spells Bible, it allows you to see how elements work together. It allows you to see how people would put together a spell. Why is that important? Well, eventually you're going to have a situation that's not textbook and you're going to need to figure it out. So by having these in reference, you can go, okay, so I need this kind of situation, but I also need this kind of situation. So you can look it up and go, all right, I can use lavender, and then I'm going to use myrrh, right? I just pulled 2 words out of anywhere, okay? But having those books around help, all right? It helps you be able to do that. We have Haunted Hotel, okay. What would you suggest for Sunday with the new full moon? Should we make some moon water? You had a lesson on this recently. Yes. All right. The elements fire, earth, and air and water combined perfectly are supposed to form ether. Yes. The philosopher's stone, the Chinese, and metal as a 5th element. Yes. So, answer the moon water. Yes. I would put out moon water. Now, before we started this, I was thinking about very particular what did I want, right? And this full moon has to do with being weird and letting yourself be weird. And it's also kind of coinciding with our shadow work that we're doing this week. You know, it's like my authentic self. So, what I thought of and what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to take my bottled water, not my tap water, but my bottled water or purified water. And I am going to put it outside in a drinkable container. So a container that I know doesn't have any contaminants and I can ingest that water. All right. Normally, I don't always ingest moon water. I don't. Most of the time I use it for bathing. All right. So I'm going to have 2 different types of moon water going. I'm going to have my bathing moon water, which is just regular tap water. I'm probably going to put an amethyst inside that water, along with some Himalayan sea salt. All right. Why? Amethyst is true to me, right? An amethyst for me is also my birthstone. So it's like it's true to me and it enhances your ability to be yourself, right? So I'm probably going to put that in there. That is my bath. My drinking water, I am going to do 2 things to it. I am going to keep it in the bottle. You know, it's in a container that I don't have to worry about ingesting something weird. I am not going to put crystals inside that water. Why? I'm just not comfortable doing that. I don't know enough not to poison myself. Okay. So don't put crystals inside your water. But on the top of my water, I will be putting this out. I have peacock ore, which most people can find. This is a cheap stone. It's not like ooh rare. They sell it in very touristy places, but it's called a peacock ore because of it has all the colors. So I am trying to align all my chakras also right now. I want to chakras, sorry. I am trying to put myself together, right? So I'm going to put all the colors in. I'm going to lay that on top of the bottle. Then I'm going to get Amazonite. You see that? It's got a pretty little blue color, blue and white. That is also leading me to be my authentic self. It's leading me to know my own truths. So I'm going to put that on top of my water and I'm going to set the water out, let the moon absorb into the water, let these absorb into the water as well. And then when I'm drinking that particular water, it is ingesting that intention again. Remember, like the sigil, I'm drawing it in jelly. So I'm going to constantly use that to kind of remind myself and ingest my own truth. So for moon this time around, whatever brings you joy, right? Use your moon water Make your moon water for whatever brings you joy, because that's what this moon's all about, being your authentic self. Right? Let's see. Maybe weird just means creative. I think so. Not everyone is a creative person. Rebranding the hidden persuaders of marketing. Let's call ourselves creative. Zarabeth, I'm always drawn to labradite. I am too. Oh my goodness. I am too. This is my favorite one. I sit here and it's like a worry stone for me. I'm constantly just, I love this. Love this one. And I'm also a fan of carnelian. I love these stones. Love those stones. Let's see. Amethyst is Winston's ferret stone. Aww. Winston stands for the joy stone found in a bishop's ring. Oh, I did not know that. Amethyst represents a found treasure. Yes. And I am a treasure. Maybe it's just, ooh, shiny, or like the crow from The Secret of Nim. Oh, it's a sparkly. I know. I'm just like, it's so pretty. Let me have it. At Zarabeth, crows are the smartest birds. I know they are. If you are an air animal spirit is a crow, you have chosen well. I am still about the pearl. My birthday is in June, so the pearl is my birthstone. I have a June baby as well, and absolutely, she loves the pearl. She loves the pearl. I also like opal. Opal, but honestly, besides labradite, and I never say it right. No, okay, I said it wrong. But the other one that I really, really like, this is the raw form, but I enjoy a lot tiger's eye. I really like tiger's eye. And I thought it was weird because I always been drawn to it and I didn't know what it meant. And then when I found that it means integrity, I was like, that makes sense. So this was another one that I'd probably put on top of my moon water. All right. Hey, Lilith! We're getting to the end, man. Zarabeth, peridot. Oh, that is pretty. That is pretty. Opals, fire opals are the friggin' amazing. Yes, I have not yet had a opal, like a fire opal yet, but there is a crystal shop in Tampa, and when I get a chance to go, that's where I go. They're amazing. But also good for insight and perception. Gotta love tiger's eye. Yes, I do. Dalmatian jasper. Oh, I have right now inside, I have a little locket thing that keeps a stone in for me. And I have a snowflake obsidian, like a little tiny snowflake obsidian in there. But it's very funny, and I know that this is probably something that is very common amongst witches, but what I find funny is when you go to take a shower and you're a witch, you never fails. You hear things like falling on the floor, like thud, 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 because we've put these in our pockets or in our bras. So you just hear all the crystals and stones falling. I love it because it reminds me of my bunny. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. All right, my loves. Until next Tuesday. And next Tuesday, we'll do Tarot Tuesday. And then next Wednesday, we will be on the Empress. I wonder what the Empress has to tell us about our shadow work this time around. It's tough. And if you can't make it to every single one because it's just gotten too tough, by all means, it's okay. Don't feel obligated to show up here. All right? Don't feel obligated. This is stuff that we know we have to do, but it's not easy. All right, my loves? It's not easy. So if you can't make it every day because emotionally you're just not there, you're not hurting me. You're not going to hurt my feelings, and I will understand, and I will still love you. All right? All right, my lovelies. Until next week, be happy, be safe. All right? And start wearing your masks again. Things are getting yucky out there. There's a lot of states where numbers are going up. Okay? So be happy, be safe, stay away from people. They're gross. Bye, my lovelies.